Hello, my name is Alon Perry. Good evening. Thank you for coming. I was at the Nova Festival, the 7th of October 2023. I came there with a group of friends of mine. I came for the holiday in Israel for about 20 days. And a friend of mine told me, there's a good party, we should go. And so there was. We went to the Nova Festival around 12 a.m. before we came there. Everything was fine. As the time was 6:29, the sky became gray and booming has started, something that I was not prepared for. My friend told me, calm down, just some rockets. They are from the south, so we're kind of used to that. But I was a bit stressed. So as the event proceeded, I was with Itai, one of my closest friends. We served together in a gauze unit, and through the event there was some ideas that I brought up and he shut down. It saved us, and so we began the event. As the sky became gray, I was very eager to leave the place and go to the home north, but they told me, calm down, relax, we stay for a bit. Then after a while, the sky became booming, red alert, Tseva Adom alert became, it was hectic. As I was now determined to leave, I grabbed them by the hand and we moved to the car. One of my friends, Itamar, he was a driver. I told him, let's go north. We started to leave the parking of the party. We moved north from road 232. As we proceed around 2 kilometers north, cars began to doing U-turns as signal with the hand. There's terrorists, turn around. So we did. I told him, let's go to the south. I have family in Eilat. Let's sleep there. We'll be smarter the day after. We proceed another 2 kilometers south. Same event, same thing happened. Cars turning around, signaling with the hand, and you hear the gunshots and fire of terrorists closing from both ends. As 232 is a two-way road, it became no way to move with the car, so there was no other option than to leave the cars there and go back to the main area where is the registered at the Nova Festival. So we went there, and on the way we tried to look for a solution, thinking of what we can do with our knowledge that we require in the military, and how are we going to operate in this situation. What led us to some kind of a hole that we stayed there for a bit, but by my opinion it was not a good place because I already understood that it's a terror attack and we must stay as less people as possible in order to stay alive. So we stayed there a bit, but then people start to gather there and it began crowded, so I told them, we're not staying here. So again, we're back at the main area where is the register. This is the entry for the festival. We stayed there for a while. In the meantime, you hear chattering of people saying, this friend died, they can't leave, describing what's going on, but there's nothing to do. Eventually, a rocket exploded right next to us, which made us start running and see what we're going to do, because with my ears, I hear the threat, and with my eyes, I was looking for a solution. So we located a tiny creek that was parallel to Road 232 and a fire road up above. As we began our way into the creek, there was something about like 50 to 70 people behind us, more or less, running after us. As with the meandering of the creek, my friend Itai stopped me and said, Perry, we have to see what's going on. What's about my friend? And I told him, Itai, there's nothing to do. They tricked us into this place. We are doomed in here. If you go up, it's an open space. If you go right, you're back at the main event. If you stop behind us, closing on us, automatic gunfires and bombing of RPG, most likely, of the terrorists running after everybody that was after us in that creek. So we were something like 2 turns ahead. for everybody, and we realized that we just have to keep running. Eventually, at the end of the creek, it just became like an open space where there is no advantage for us in this situation. So we looked at each other and said, we have to go into a bush. In that moment, we went into the bush, basically hoping and praying that everything will be in our favor, although it wasn't. All this time, the amount of gunfires that you hear above you is something that is indescribable, as something that is not something that I know even from the roughest day in the military of training even. So we stayed in the bush for a couple of minutes and we started to cover ourselves. I was with a lot of jewelry, with a white shirt. I took the shirt off, put a gray hoodie on myself to disguise all the shining object that was on me. We were in a bush, basically. The behind of us was blocked and covered, but the inside into the creek was pretty visible. So not the best place to be. Eventually, we were there for 3 hours until at around 7:20 we got into the bush. Around 10, there was just chaos, shooting, people screaming. One time we hear IDF soldiers having a fight with a terrorist, and then quiet. And Itai tells me, let's go out. And I say, we can't. We don't know who won. So we stay there, and we decided that the only way we're going to leave this bush is either when Zaka will come pick up the bodies, or it will become dark, and that will be to our advantage. After that, around the time 11, something like that, my phone vibrated in my leg. Thank God it was not on loud. And it was my uncle called me, but I didn't hear anything. But that was the first time I realized that I have a phone on me and I can use it to see what we're going to do. It was just me and Itai there, surrounded by terrorists, shots fired all over us for in total of like 8 hours. 10 feet from us, 5 feet from us, you hear them chattering, you hear them celebrating. After a while, I sent my dad a text message saying, send forces to rescue us, either it's from the air or from infantry. I was not aware of the situation, and he just told me, bring out the Goznik in you, bring out the soldier in you, and keep hiding. And so we did. A little bit after that, I got another text from a Shabak agent, one of our friends that we came with, Ido Adri, may he rest in peace, who is dad, he's the head of the SWAT of Israel, did all his effort that he can do in order to find his son. In that effort, he got to my phone and an agent from the Shabak contacted me and said, where is Ido? What's your situation? I told him we don't know where he is and we are trapped around, surrounded by terrorists, nowhere to go, and send rescue and send everything that you can to save us, because by my knowledge, that's the only thing that happened. I didn't know what's going on around us. He told me, stay hidden, there's too many events that are occurring right now, there's nothing we can do, just wait. As time passed by, the only thing I'm thinking about is that I must survive this day, because yesterday was my mom's birthday, tomorrow. And I just can't let that happen. So we just stay in the bush, reciting a mantra, quiet, 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 stay quiet, stay still, don't move, don't make a noise, while we hear them surrounding us and hear everything that's happening in the background. After a couple of hours, he told me, like it was around 2, he told me, get ready for suppressed fire from the air, which we were not able to get ready to that because we're only hidden, we're not covered. So I just told him, please don't go into the creek with your fire and just try to stay away from that. As we hear an helicopter's coming, one helicopter fly above us, and we hear the terrorist, there was like 5 vehicles just behind the bush, gathered there for all that time. As he told me get ready for the fire, I was kind of aiming him that we hear fire from the north, and the helicopter was flying there. We heard some noises of fighting between the land and the air and the helicopter, but not knowing what's going on. All this time, we were just there at the bush with nothing to do. There was one moment where the terrorists came 5 feet from the bush from below and 5 feet from above us. As they were getting closer, and we know they're getting closer, we just had to be quiet in order to leave. After a while, where we're just sitting there with no contact anymore, a group of soldiers, IDF soldiers, came. As we saw them, we heard them before, and I said, we're not going out until we fully recognize that it's IDF soldiers, because my dad also told me, don't go out for anybody, because they're kind of tricking people into hiding. So when we see them, we went out, IDF, don't shoot, with the hands in the air. That was the moment when we got rescued from the bush. They told us, we're not going to go back from the way that you came, because we don't want you to see what's been left there behind you. So we passed from the open field, and they told us, put your hands like that and look on our heels, so we won't see what's going on there. Little bit curiosity, something that all of us have. So after a quick peek, I decided not to do it anymore. We were taken to Be'eri, but with Humvees. The road was like an apocalypse. It was something that the imagination can even comprehend it. It's something that can be described, and I won't describe it here. We arrived to Be'eri, and still Be'eri was conquered by terrorists and was still fighting to free Be'eri. As I told Itai, let's stay low after everything we just been through. Better if we just stay low and stay safe. Around 8 p.m., a vacant ambulance took us to the north. Around 8 p.m., I got off at Yokneam near my home. I just saw some soldiers going to the war that day. I just told them, I just been there. Good luck. And this is my story, a little bit of it, of my experience. Thank you for listening.